Hey, my cat loving friends. We have a treat for you. She is the country's leading multimedia celebrity pet lifestyle expert and influencer. She is in the know of all the latest trends, the cool things coming out for our cats, and she's already wowed us before we even started the podcast. So, we're going to take a brief break to hear a word from our wonderful sponsor, and then we're going to come back and we're going to introduce you to Sandy Robbins. We'll be right back. Welcome back to 19 Cats and Counting. I am your co-host, Linda Hall, here with one of my favoriteest people in the world, my BFF, Rita Reimers.
I still like the way you say that.
I know. I'm going to do it every time now. Everybody listen.
That's going to get
old. My
old.
R's at until I'm tired of it or she tells me to stop.
I'm so excited to talk to Sandy because Sandy, you and I, we kind of been running in similar circles around each other. Like I know who you are, you knew who I was, but we've never met. So this is awesome.
Yes. And you are in the know about like all the cool stuff. And like, I think we need to have like a weekly Zoom with Sandy and find out what new. But
I would love that.
Yes. So, and you've written books. You're a very much sought after speaker. I mean, you are out there for the cats and the dogs too.
Yes, I'm bipedal, as they say.
Bipedal, I love that.
I gotta write that down. Excuse me.
Linda was too. She had a dog until recently.
Oh,
She passed.
Yeah, she passed last month. Sorry. So yeah, we're not gonna talk about that because that's sad. We're only talking about happy things.
Happy things. And so what we're going to talk about today with you, Sandy, is you have a lot of awesome technology that benefits our cats. And I'm a technology girl. My old field is information technology. I have a computer science degree. I used to be a computer programmer. So this is just right up my alley. I love this stuff.
Yes. Yes. And this stuff, it's still surprising me what some of this stuff can do. We were sent an automatic litter box, Leo's Lou 2. And I have been like a child
in love
obsessed.
With it.
Who thought I'd be obsessed with a litter box? Okay. They're not normally my friends, but this thing is so cool. And it even has UV lights that sterilize it when it's done. The poop doesn't stink. I mean, I got really excited about non-stinky poop.
Sounds like you're more excited than the cats, actually.
I am. And it tells us the weight. And I mean, they're not just things that are making our lives easier, but they're things that are really benefiting our cats, right?
Yeah, well, this is the point. I think technology plays a really important role in our cat's general well-being, and that is a great way to enhance the human-animal bond. It kind of all goes together. Mm-hmm. So I think technology is really important, but at the same time, it's got to be simple. It's got to be technology that everybody can use, nothing complicated.
Yes.
If you're downloading an app, it's got to be as simple as keep pressing, done. You know,
exactly. 100%. Yes. Yeah, I was very excited when I took out that box and it was just a piece and a cover. I mean, like it wasn't assembly required, and then you downloaded an app, and health-wise, it sends me a notification every time the cat gets out of the loo. I like the loo. I like
spoiler alert. Linda had to get her son to download the app, so I just thought I'd throw that in there. I did
make him do it. Yeah, you know, kids and technology.
Well, that's right?
Exactly. But it was just as simple as downloading it. They even provided like QR codes to go directly to it. They tried to make it as simple as possible because, you know, my 84-year-old father has a cat, but he's not gonna, you know, he doesn't even know how to remove his contacts in his phone. So, and sometimes we FaceTime and he sticks it to his ear and you just look at his ear hair.
As somebody who is hearing challenged, that's because he can't hear and look at the same time. That's
then
why.
Call, don't FaceTime, but that's another story.
Anyway.
So tell us about some other really cool technology things that you think are helping pet parents and the cats
and the pets. Well, the one item that I think is an absolute game changer is the microchip operated feeder for cats.
Oh, yes.
Because it only opens on that designated cat's microchip, which means if somebody comes in over their shoulders to try and sneak, it's going to close on them. So you can actually gauge exactly how much that cat is eating. And if that cat has a medical issue, you can feed a designated food. If all the food bowls are out there, you have no way of knowing who is eating what.
True.
And that's very complicated. I mean, if you're going to the vet, you're spending the money at the vet, you're buying the very expensive food, but you're not getting the job done because you don't eat it.
Somebody else.
Well,
Well, and
me, that is a game changer.
yes, and as behaviorists, I'll tell you, we often suggest those because so many times we get, I've got 2 cats. This one's a grazer. Take a bite, go away,
Yes.
come back, go away. This one is a vacuum cleaner and inhales their food. So then when this one walks away, the other one goes and finishes off the food.
Yes.
So cat
Exactly.
A is not getting enough food. So that's when we say chip feeder. And we say you don't need 2. You only need 1 for the grazer so that their food is available. The other one's
In
gonna,
that-
you know, eat
In that
whatever you-
situation, yeah. If you're talking
Yeah.
about medical needs for different food, then you might
You know,
Right.
exactly. You know, you well, this is the point. You can
Right.
make it suit and work for you, you know.
Yes.
And the other thing is that I like about this particular feeder is you can feed wet and dry. And because it closes, it stays palatable. You know, there
Nice.
ants are not getting in, flies are not getting in. All those
Yes.
things which frankly turn cats off. I mean, my cats, if an ant walks into the food bowl, that's it. The meal's over. There's no way-
Exactly.
there's
I
no
don't
way-
blame them. I
Exactly.
don't want to eat ants.
Exactly.
Yes. It's
Exactly.
good too. We saw, because we told you Rita owned a pet sitting company and I worked with her there, and we would have people say, oh, I'm really torn. I think I really prefer twice a day visits, but my cat gets a raw diet or wet food only. So I'm not leaving stuff out for them to graze on, and Fluffy needs 3 meals a day, but I really don't want to pay for 3 visits. So then we would tell them about the feeder with the freezer pack. And I say, you can put it in there.
Yes.
Or your sitter can come in the morning, give breakfast, and then set it up to pop for lunch and then come for supper. So
there's now one that you can set for 6 meals. So you don't have to set, well, obviously no cat's going to get 6 meals. I mean, unless there's a real grazer and you want to set it to go through the day.
yes,
But you can put treats in between.
Yes.
That's,
I've
you know,
seen that one. It's like a circle and it rotates.
Yes, and it's got freezer pads underneath, which means that if
I
you
love
are
that.
sitting wet, it's going to
Stay
keep
fresh.
it cool. But I
Yes.
still believe, and I think this is so important, that is not a substitute for a pet sitter.
That's-
You know,
yes.
You need somebody to come in and check, but
100%.
it just gives you another layer of peace of mind. But I
Yes.
definitely don't believe in
Oh,
leaving
yeah.
kind of technology on its own, just in case something goes
Yes.
That could be a whole show on its own, because
Exactly,
we've
yes.
seen so much that if the people hadn't scheduled a sitter, you know, their cats wouldn't have made it, or their house would have blown up, or what have you.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
important to have somebody visit at least once a day.
Oh,
Oh,
exactly.
we've had floods and fires and evacuations in LA where the
Yeah.
sitter came and said, they're being evacuated. And okay,
What do you do?
where are we
Exactly.
gonna, we try. After that, we made sure everybody had a go plan, but our sitter literally took those cats home that night. And we're like, we're not insured for this, but we're not going to leave the cat there. So yeah, knock yourself out. We'll hope they're just appreciative. And they were.
I'm
So
sure they will. Well, that
yeah.
brings me to another gadget that I absolutely love called the Tab Cat.
tab
Sorry, I
cat.
think that I-
Tab cat. I have not heard of this until
Yeah,
we talked about it.
It's a little located, fits onto the collar, with a battery in there and a battery in this little remote control.
Mhm.
And the point is that this remote control talks to the cat's collar. So
Mhm.
if the cat is under the bed and you cannot see the cat, I don't know about your cats, but my cats have pulled all the bottom of the bed down. They kind of, there's that kind of material in the bottom of the bed. They've pulled it.
Yes.
You can't
Yes.
They do
But
that on
with
couches
this thing-
too.
Yeah,
My
with
house
this-
too.
with this thing you can locate them. Even if you can't see them, when you're on top of them, on top of the bed, it beeps and turns green, so you know that they're underneath. So
That would have helped us so much during pet sitting.
well,
Oh, no
Those
kidding.
scaredy cats that hide.
Well,
Well,
this is the point. That I really think all this technology is for that very reason.
Mhm.
Is
Yeah.
they are helpers, mother's little helper, basically. This kind of stuff.
Exactly. Yes. Well, and we've had one of my cats is just he's a little turd. He just,
Oh,
if he's
Deadpool.
not kept occupied, he gets into trouble. And we couldn't find him one day, and we're all searching the house. Finally, that night, we heard meowing coming from the chimney. He got, and I still, there
He
was
opened the flue.
eye on the doors. The flue was shut. I don't know how he did it. He's just that good. But we were so worried that he'd escape, because he is also an escape artist, and that somehow he got out and nobody knew. And so that would have been really nice in that instant, because that was a few hours of scrambled panic.
Mhm.
Exactly. Well, I mean, I have indoor cats, so but
Mine
listen, they can get out, and a thing like this has a range of about 400 yards. So heaven forbid your cat does get out,
Mhm.
you can start looking on the outside. And just
I
the thing
love
that I
most
remember,
cats escape. They
once-
stay close.
well, they do stay close, but they still hide. And
Yes.
Mhm.
I remember a pet detective telling me that there's no research.
We love her.
But cats, when they get out, for some reason, run to the right. So if you know that, and you can set up a path round your home that leads from the right. It happened to me once, many years ago. A cat of mine got out. To this day, I don't know how, but we set up our own scent trail round our house, and we kept walking it about, this was like 2 a.m, and suddenly there was a little meow from under a bush, and I just grabbed. But he
Wow.
had run to the right.
I
So-
didn't know about that to the right, but Linda had a cat get out.
Yeah.
We had to talk with Kim Freeman. Yeah.
It's
And
scary.
it's
It's
Scary.
scary.
so scary. And I really thought he was gone. And he's my FIV positive boy, so I worry about him more than the other cats.
Yeah.
I'm a helicopter mom to him a little bit, and I was destroyed. And then after a while, I was certain that he was deceased,
Oh,
and he was hiding under the front porch of the house behind us. So he
they
was
don't go too far, but I mean, you don't know that at the time.
No.
But it's
exactly.
something
But if
like
I'd
this,
had that
400
tag,
feet, you would have been able to kind of
yes,
lights up, so it leads you in the right direction. It goes from red to orange, from orange, and then more light orange, and then green lights, and then more green lights, and then all green lights, and then bingo, cat.
Well, we
Kinda
have
like
another
that
tool to
game where they're
recommend.
closer. We're getting warmer.
Yeah,
There's
basically.
another tool to recommend to our clients, because we have quite a few people who have escape artist cats.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, no, that is. And the other thing that I really like, which is reasonably new, you take a cat to the vet, and they if you need to take their temperatures, then they have to be subjected to
Poor
a rec-
cat.
I know, humiliating.
There's now needless to say, you charge it like everything else these days.
Yes.
Love
There's
it.
an app for it, like everything else these days, but you can keep a record, which you can send to your vet. And the point is, it goes under the front paw like that.
Oh,
get
I
a reading.
love that.
So this is
That's
from Mela Pet, and I think that's another game changer, because if your cat's off color and you're not sure, and it's a big thing to get to the vet, then
Mhm.
this will perhaps give you an indication that you should make that trip. You should just
Yes.
go that
I
extra mile.
love that. I want one of those.
I wrote that down. I'm buying one of those. You better believe it, because it's hard to tell. And
All your
Yeah.
kitties, if somebody's off color,
yes,
you can get to tell. And
yes.
and,
There
get
have been
that.
times when I've been like, do you feel warm? I don't know. You're always warm. I don't know, so
Theirs are always warmer than ours anyway. That's kind
yes,
of, they run at higher temperatures. But
exactly.
That's
Yeah.
why when we hold them, we get so hot
Yeah.
sometimes, because they're like 102 degrees, I think they are.
they're above us, so it's
Yes.
exactly.
Exactly. Yes.
Another bit of technology that is pretty easy to use is DNA has become all the thing, and
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's very useful, because you can now track medical conditions to see if you've got a purebred cat, for example.
Uh-huh.
Is your Persian's, subject to hip dysplasia, or does it run in the breed? That kind of stuff.
We
But
have
then
a
it's-
Persian in our sanctuary, so
Yes, we do.
and then for me, there's now an oral kit, so it's a swab, which is not necessarily easy. I mean, to catch a cat with a swab, I mean, that's another story, right? But
But it's not the
nevertheless,
hardest thing. It's better than sticking a rectal thermometer up their hiney. So, it's not that bad. I can handle that.
So once you've done that, off you send it, and you then get a report of your cat's mouth, which is again an indicator. If all is good, then okay. But the cats get these falls, FORLS, where the tooth starts decaying from the inside out. So it's not like people where you can see the hole. It's inside.
I
So
didn't know that.
I didn't either.
if it's coming on the nerve, they will have toothache that you will not know about because they hide unless you're touching the mouth and they're growling, and that's an obvious one.
Yes.
But if you've got a DNA kit that says, listen, this is the problem, you can send the results through to your vet and you can take it from there.
And this is base paws, right?
Base paws, yes.
Yes.
It's just another layer of help, frankly.
Yes.
Them, which just improves their general well-being. And that's what it's basically what it's all about.
That's really good information, because I know when base paws first came out, people were like, okay, I get it. I'm curious as to what my cat is mixed with. But what point why is it worth the money, right? What point does it serve beyond knowing that my cat's got a little bit of this and a little bit of that in them? But that makes sense.
Oh, and I think when they first came out, it was the matter of, oh, my cat's a
novelty
between a Russian blue and a Norwegian forest cat. Isn't she cute? And that was kind of where they were. But they've gone way beyond that now. The technology is really very, very advanced, and they keep updating the profile. So as it moves along, you're getting a clearer and better picture of your cat. So I think it's something perhaps worth investing in. The oral care for sure, because so many cats don't get the dental care that they deserve. It's an issue, it
really is.
It is an issue.
Panel, as you were just discussing earlier before on the show, you've got to do that. And then there's the whole cleaning that's got to be done. And I don't believe in this gentle cleaning without anesthetic. I don't think you can do that on a cat.
No,
I think you're looking for trouble. I don't think you can do it efficiently, and the cat is more going to be spooked beyond words.
One of our sanctuary cats
is not worth it.
Zakuro came in the Persian with some horrible dental issues, and when he eats, he won't eat soft food, which he should, but he throws the food back in his throat when he picks up he's scheduled on the 11th for oral surgery, so hopefully after that he'll be able to eat normally. Poor guy.
Yeah.
He hadn't been to the vet in years, Surrenderer told us. Years.
Gingivitis or something else going on.
Exactly. And he's 10. So
what people don't understand is that when the mouth is dirty and full of bacteria, it goes into the system, and next minute you've got a kidney issue or some other kind of issue. And so it's really a good place to start is to start with a dental thing. And talking about kidney issues, it's so important for cats to drink. There are water bowls that monitor how much they're intaking, which is just cool.
That's awesome.
Yes.
And bowls that are self-cleaning, because that's the other thing. You don't want bacteria in the bowl.
The bio slime.
Yes, that's more dangerous than dehydration. That stuff will kill them. So
let's take a quick break for our sponsor, and I want to come back and talk more about these bowls and how they eliminate the bio slime. We'll be right back. And we're back on 19 Cats and Counting with my BFF and co-host Linda Hall and the possum, Sandy Robbins. We're learning so much about technology. I'm a techno girl, as people know. I love technology and gadgets. And these things, not only are they cool, but they're extremely useful for keeping up with your cat's health. We're just about to talk about pet bowls. How pet bowls clean themselves. I'm interested to know.
That's what I wanted to know. Yes.
One of my favorite companies these days, without question, is Catit, because they have many enrichment toys, and now they've got into the food bowl and the drinking bowl business, so to speak. And they've got a water bowl that when you fill it up, it's got a cat face on the front, and the nose is blue, which means it's full and plenty of water. And the top part is very flat, which means they can drink nicely and the whiskers don't get away. Awesome. And as the water level drops, it changes color, the nose, to red, which is an indicator that you need to fill it up. But needless to say, everything else, it works on an app, and there is a feature on that for self-cleaning. So you just press self-cleaning and the bowl will just clean itself. And you just keep topping up. Of course, obviously, from time to time, you need to dismantle
Yes.
a good clean.
Yes.
But instead of doing it every 2 or 3 weeks, which I think people get lazy and the weeks fly by, and
Yes.
you realize that you haven't done it for 6 weeks.
Yes.
So this is just a great way of keeping tabs on your cat's water bowl. And the other thing is, I mean, you've probably got this because you've all got so many cats. You can never have too many water bowls around.
It's true.
All over the house.
I think I've got 8 or 10 of them all over the house.
Yeah.
You know, it's yes, sure, by the food bowl, but that doesn't mean to say it's got to be the only.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Yes. I have a fountain in my bedroom, a fountain in the kitchen. I have the ones that install on the wall catio bowls with water in the dining
floating
room.
water bowl.
Yes. And then I've got a couple upstairs too. So yes, they're adorable and they're up off the floor so the cat doesn't have to, bend down. Yes. So very cool. Yes. Patio cage.
I also like things that are slightly raised. I think cats, yes, they do sit down low when they eat, but I think when they get that opportunity to eat at a different height, I think especially as they get older, I think that's kind of important for them. They get the same issues as we have.
Sure.
Yes.
And remedial stuff that needs attention all the time. So
well, it closes off. If your head's down like this, it's hard to swallow, right? It kind of closes it off. So
I have some cats that like to lay on the floor and scoop the food onto the floor with their paw and then eat it. They're weird. They're so lazy.
That's really funny. I guess there's an activity mat for that. You see, and they're ready for dogs, but I guess you could use one for a cat too. You get those activity mats.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Food and turn it into a little treasure hunt.
Yes, exactly.
For the meal.
Cat Tit makes a kind of a food bowl-ish, but it's got little cups in it, and so you can put a little food and they have to stop and dig
like
it
a
out.
puzzle.
It really, we love Cat. I have so many things from Cat.
I do too.
They have awesome stuff. They really do.
They
and just brought out a vacuum sealed container for kibble so that, it stays really fresh and dry, which is really important.
That is, yes.
They have an automatic kibble dispenser as well in their Pixie range. And Pixie's a kitty that they've named all this after. She's a beautiful little calico, and everything has been named after Pixie. And the Pixie automated feeders has got special charcoal filters in there to make sure that no moisture gets into the food thing that you are dispensing. So that's amazing. It's fresh. Because sometimes people say that their pets are fussy and they won't eat, but perhaps it's because the food's not palatable anymore.
I wouldn't eat something that's been sitting out that long.
I always hated when I'd go to a pet sit and I'd see the bag of dry food and it's sitting there open,
just like
getting stale
off of it.
It's tough to educate. That's why if these gadgets exist and they fulfill a function like that,
and they're easy to use,
a good way of telling people about it. Then they have that aha moment. Oh yeah, I've been leaving the bag standing out and it's open. Perhaps I should his food in a vacuum pack or something.
Oh, would you want I always, try to put yourself in your cat's paws, right? Would you eat that?
In your cat's paws?
Yes. And one of our friends, DQ, who Go Cat Go, he's a behaviorist. He did a social media post the other day and he said, I want to issue the cat water bowl drinking challenge. Would you drink from your cat's water bowl? And I was like,
I don't know.
That's a really good question. Would I? Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a good point, isn't it? And I mean, I'm really fastidious. I buy bottled water for my cats, or now I have a new refrigerator, so we're all benefiting from the filters in my new refrigerator, and they get that water.
Oh yeah, the water in the door. I have that. Love it.
Prior to that, I was buying bottled water. It's just better for their kidneys. It is. Yes, it's so important. Drinking fresh water, and you're giving them as few things in the water as possible, so that it's pure.
Cats are prone to enough kidney issues. They don't need more help with yucky water.
Exactly. So if the bowl is, and in fact, there's that other bowl, the Felaqua, I think that's how you pronounce it, which has got a reservoir, and again, a nice flat drinking portion attaches to an app, and you can monitor how much your cat is actually taking in. And if a cat has a kidney issue, that's kind of important information.
Oh,
You
yeah.
Definitely.
They drink
Definitely.
it.
Yes. Yes.
So I really believe that today all this technology is your cat's best friend.
Oh yeah. And
See,
well,
this
we
is
know
awesome.
things
I
like-
didn't know some of this existed.
I didn't either. Yeah. We know things like UTIs. By the time you find out about it, you better run because it's close to being too late. So all of these things that monitor like that, I was so excited when Pretty Litter first came out. Of course, when you have 11 cats, you really don't know who did that blue spot, but at least somebody's up. But
Yeah. Well, now there's another litter out called Alert. In fact, I wrote it down here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 different color changes. Yellow to olive green is kind of normal. That's like the baseline.
Mhm.
Deep yellow or orange is associated with metabolic acidosis or kidney disease. So that's one to watch
Very
when
important.
it's yellow. Blue
yes.
to dark green, that could be a urinary tract infection, what we've just been talking about. And then, of
Right.
course, if it's red, that means there's blood in the urine, and
That's
so
important to know.
now you can get rainbow litter, so to speak.
I love
But
it.
it fulfills it's Purina's latest, the Teddy Cat's latest one. I saw it at Super Zoo about a month ago.
Super Zoo. See, we miss seeing everybody. We're
Everybody we
hoping
love was at
next
Super
year.
Zoo, and we were so FOMO, baby. We were totally fear of
Next
missing
year.
out. It was so bad. Like,
I don't want to get
you were there.
I just want to wander around and finally meet all these people that we talk to
Talk
all
to
the
everybody.
time.
Yes. The 2 crazy cat ladies and Isabel Ariana. I mean, like, we're good friends with these people that we've never met. So
But you never meet them. And it's so nice to meet them face to face. And
Yes.
and actually get a jump start too on what's coming out, especially in terms of
Yes.
technology and stuff.
yes.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm-
love all this technology.
It's
You also
not
mentioned
proper.
something before we turned on the cameras about having cameras in your home to see what your cats are up to. I think that's
Yes.
important too.
Well, there's the basic camera that you can just set up to watch your pet around the house, again through an app. But I like the Pet Cube camera treat dispenser, because through the app you can dispense treats for them. You can talk to them, so you can actually call them up to the.
Oh my
dispenser.
gosh.
You can then dispense a treat, and you can see it all live in real Technicolor. And if you are away, I think it's a nice way to stay connected with your pets.
Your pet sitter could use that
everything.
too to
Yes.
get your cat to come up and say hello to.
Yes. Well, and
Yes.
we were at a pet sitting conference quite a few years ago.
I knew you were going to talk about
And
this.
we're at this nice hotel sitting down to a fancy dinner, and Rita is a wreck. Okay. And she keeps picking up her phone.
I had
and
20 cats at the
picking up
time,
her
and
phone. And
leaving
but-
them is tough.
finally she says, Barb should have been there by now. And then once she got that alert and the pictures came through, she was
photos.
like, and then we relaxed and had a wonderful night. But it did not begin until Barb sent photos. So it would have been so nice if she'd have had one of those to check, because she was really a party pooper until
I'm like that too. You just want to know that they're fine.
Yeah,
yes.
exactly.
I get people say that you've got to be careful of cameras in your home, that people can hack into them and see what's going. I think you just got to be practical and use them when you're going out, and switch them off when you're at home. Just
yes.
look at
Yeah.
that extra layer.
I have to say, I have Alexa device in my bathroom. I have them all over the place, right? So I can play music while I'm getting ready. I face it to the wall because I'm in there showering and stuff, and I've heard so many horror stories that people
You're
can hack
afraid
in.
somebody's gonna catch a look. Yeah.
But I want to play my music, so I just face it to the wall.
I
I
just said, if anybody's that bored that they really want to watch me knock yourself out, I'm not that exciting.
But it's just creepy. I think that's just
It is creepy.
No, it is. I would be very upset if I thought someone was watching me. But what a cool, especially with pet sitters. There were it was literally my job to talk down the nervous parents and get them off the ledge and get them to trust us. And I remember one guy, I said, I get it. I felt the same way about my human kids when they were little. And he said, oh, no, 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 no. He said, I got human kids and I got cats, and I worry much more about my cats because they cannot dial 911. They cannot open the door and leave, and they can't tell me what happened while I was gone. So
we always welcomed when they had cameras in their home. Some of our sitters were upset at first, and I'm like, look at it this way. They know it covers your butt too. They know you were there. They can see you were there. And if you're not doing anything wrong, there's nothing to worry about.
They can't accuse you of anything.
The big point is, I think that if you do have a pet sitter coming in, is to say to them, listen, I've got cameras.
Definitely. Yes.
There's a camera there, so they're aware of it. So that it's not as if you're trying to check on them.
Exactly.
You're just getting the job done.
Yes.
And if they were checking on the sitter, I wouldn't blame people.
It's their house and their cat. I know one of the sitters one day called me and said, this just creeped me out. She said, I couldn't find the food, and I'm looking at this cupboard, and I'm looking at that cupboard, I'm looking at this cupboard, and finally I get a text, and it's the client who's like in the Bahamas, says, second door to the right or something. And she's like,
that can be a little
creepy.
unnerving.
But it's like, look, you're in their home with their cat. I give them total kudos to do that, right? You're protecting your precious asset. I'm going to worry about my cats over your feelings. If you can't handle that, I'll find somebody else.
That's right.
Yeah.
But let's be honest. That pet parent should have left a list or
yes,
on the counter or something to make it easy for somebody coming.
Sure.
Numerous homes in a day. If you're busy, you can't remember where Bob and Mary have left the food.
Exactly. I've got, especially like Christmas. Our poor sitters in LA at Christmas, those poor darlings.
I know they're going into 20 different houses, and they're supposed to remember where the food is in every single house.
His is there and hers is there, and that's there and that's there. So, we had an app and try to get all the information, but sometimes things weren't where people said they should be, but
exactly. So a camera again can be a very, very useful tool.
Definitely.
Yes.
Check on them even when the sitter's not there. Although admittedly, you've got only a certain range, X number of degrees that you can see. And you're like the cat will be in the other room,
Of course.
He will be, because you want him to be in a certain place. He won't be. That's how cats are.
I will tell you.
But if you've got the gadget that dispenses treats and you can talk to them,
yes,
cats are smart. They know. I had a friend who used to give her cats treats every evening at 10 o'clock, and they were kept in a drawer. And every evening at 10 o'clock, just before 10, they would line up outside that.
Yes.
They knew that she was going to come
experience. Exactly.
So it was the same thing, So you'll get them. They'll show up in front of your camera waiting.
I'll tell you, we had a client that had that cube, and her mother is the quintessential cat grandma, really loves her grandcat. Okay. So while the human was at work, her mother had downloaded the app and would check on the cat and toss him treats. Grandma spoiling from a distance. I like it. They had to do that for grandkids too.
Well, I'm going to check out some of these gadgets for sure.
Yes.
And when we post this, we'll include some of the links to some of these things we've talked about, because there's a few of them that I want to get now.
Oh, I have a list. Yeah. See my pen? Actually, I'm just not putting the pen down. As long as Sandy's
I've been typing it in.
Holding on to it. Yes.
They're not cheap, but I think it's really worth it. The first feeder we mentioned, the microchip feeder, I think they're about $120 something.
Exactly. Yep.
Cheap. But again, if you're feeding the right food to a designated cat, you're getting that job done. If you've got kidney disease and you're serving that kind of food, and then of course the stealing business, it's just huge. So it really is, I think it's it's worth it under those kind of conditions.
I think so. Yeah. It's
I know
we're trying to separate them.
I know we have to wrap, but talk about the cats that pulled one over.
I was thinking about that. Okay, Sandy, you're going to like this one.
Meep and Moop.
We found some cats that learned how to get around the chip feeder. So the ladies got two cats, Meep and Moop, which was confusing talking
Moop
about, but that's another story. Meep is food obsessed, gobbles all his food and then goes eat. Oh, Moop was, and then goes and eats Meep's food. Meep's a grazer. Take a little walk away, come back, and it's gone because Moop. So she got a chip feeder. So it worked for a minute. And then Moop started following Meep, whining and complaining until, don't tell me cats aren't smart, until Meep walked over to the feeder and went and just stood there to let the other cat eat their food.
Yeah. So the chip would open. Yeah. And of course,
we died.
Meep would have to stand there while Moop ate. Otherwise, it would close
And
on
she
him.
would just sit there.
That's
And,
ridiculous.
let me get my head out of the way for you so you'll shut up. Like it just literally nagged her into it.
Too smart.
I laugh so hard that you think you've seen it all. We're
Yeah.
working in the behaviors. We keep finding that one cat. And I've never heard of anybody else circumventing that,
That's an amazing story. That really
but you
just kills out any technology. I mean, how do you fight that?
I know. I
Hopefully
know.
that was a one-off. I hope no other cats know how to
Fortunately,
do
we've never
that.
heard of anyone else doing it, but yeah, we won't be forgetting that story soon because
Except
we
I
were
must tell
just
you-
dying.
I must tell you something that feeder, if you contact them and tell them that you've got this problem, they can operate from their end of the world, back in the UK somewhere. They can put in an intruder mode so that when that other cat comes in, even if the one cat's holding it open, the mere fact that there is an intruder, it will close.
Wow.
Amazing.
That's good
Yeah,
to know. Write that
You
down,
need to
Linda.
know that, because otherwise you'll just think, oh, well, the cat's
Well,
holding
that's it.
open, well,
Yes, we read the information they sent ahead of time, and we both said I need a chip feeder. And then we get in on the call, and she's like, "I have a chip feeder," but they circumvented it. And we were like, "I got nothing. Like, I don't even know
Cats
what
are
to tell you
clever.
right now."
Everything they do is based on their instinct to survive, and that proves it.
Yes,
they've got us
100%.
right there, haven't they?
Yeah, they do. They rule the world.
I hate that we have to bring this to an end, but Sandy, I hope you'll come back again and share more technology and more other things. I know you have your hand in many facets of the pet industry, and we would love to have you share.
Yeah, this has been fun. I've really enjoyed. So thank you.
We
for
have
having
too. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
To
It's
get
been
a
our
hold
pleasure.
of you, sandyrobinsonline.com, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Or,
and we'll
yeah,
include that.
that's my website.
Yes.
There is a link from there that gets right into my email inbox.
Yeah.
So,
That's amazing.
and I do respond to emails. So
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
And you're blogging, and you're
Check
you're
out-
out there providing this information for everyone.
Check out
Yeah.
Sandy's books. I have the Cat Bible on my Kindle. I have to review it. I haven't read it in a while. I have the hard copy too downstairs, but I like to do some reading. I
Yeah,
like to
we
see what
gotta
other people are saying, because no
definitely.
one person knows everything about cat behavior.
Well,
No, that's true.
everybody
It's
has
a
had
work
an
in progress,
experience that we
isn't it?
haven't.
yeah,
Yes.
it's a work in progress. It really is.
Yes.
So,
We're
that's the trouble
always
with the book,
learning.
isn't it? You publish it and then there's new stuff and you think, oh.
Yes. We're constantly sometimes when someone writes in and wants to do a follow-up, we look and it's like, oh, it's been blah amount of time. Were we talking about this then? Did we know about this when we talked to them? Like, can we, because it's ever evolving as we learn.
Which is a good
And,
thing.
it definitely is. Yeah. Never stop. Oh,
Yeah.
Jiminy Christmas.
Oh, look at that.
That's Galway.
Timing. All right about that, right? He's come for the final curtain call on the show.
Yeah.
He's been very needy these past
He's been
few
very
days.
clingy. It I feel like I got a baby again. That's like, mom, like,
Oh, that is awesome. I love clingy cats.
yes, it depends on the moment. Yeah, last night I loved it. I was chilling watching TV. I was like, lay here, please. I love you. But there are moments that it's a little more difficult than others. But
Well, this
whatever
is
you need,
good.
baby.
On that note, thank you so much, Sandy, for coming on. I look forward to future shows with you.
Thank you.
And of course, I always thank Linda Hall, my BFF, my ride or die. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Back
Sure
at
wouldn't
you,
be
baby.
here.
Back at
It's
you.
been a lot of fun. Thank you, ladies.
And thanks, Mark Winter, for giving us the spot on Pet Life Radio. We so appreciate it. Don't forget, everyone, every day is Catter Day. We'll see you next time.